today I'm really pleased to meet Nick and Heidi from Ready for Work, and basically Nick is going to tell us a few things about his organisation, about employees and work, etc. So Nick, let's just start with you straight away. What actually do you do, and give us an idea of what people could get from your organisation, to benefit themselves.
Okay, well, Ready for Work is really what it says. It prepares people for employment. So it could be that you've just lost your job through redundancy or a closure, maybe a shop's closed, for example. It may be that you've been out of work for a long time through illness, and you've lost touch with the world of work, and you just need someone to sort of bring you up to date, bring you up to speed, that sort of thing. Or it could be that you left school or further education, in which case you've trained, you've got all the skills that you need to get a job, but you just need that little bit of extra help to actually get you into a job and get you into work.
Oh, I see. So, say for example, I've just left school and I have done the qualifications, but my CV isn't doing anything. I'm not getting anything back from that. Is that something that you would help with, or would you actually read my CV and say, it says here you like this, this, and this, but actually you like this a lot more, and you're not showing it? Is that the type of thing?
Yeah, I think Heidi.
Is that Heidi's?
Yeah, that's something that we do on a one-to-one basis with our clients, and in order to really get the best out of them.
And do you come to them?
Well, we sit at the Felixstowe library every Thursday morning as of 10 in the morning, and normally we have appointments in the afternoon. So if you would like to come along and maybe present your CV, if something needs a bit more detail, more work, or you just want one-to-one session, then we can arrange for an appointment.
Right. So if let's just say I've just left school and I want you to read my CV.
Yeah.
I don't just turn up though, do I? Do I have a contact number or an email or something to?
We have all sorts. We prefer drops in.
Drop in. You prefer people just drop in.
Just drop in. It's more spontaneous, and we get a lot more information that through a phone call or maybe an email that could just be a few lines. We have to get to know the person in order to provide a CV that really reflects the person's skills.
Okay, so let's just say I've got a CV and you've read it. What are the 3 major faults that you would find in a normal CV?
Well, believe it or not, spelling mistakes.
Well, I will believe that. I would believe that.
It is a capital sin, and I always advise people, if you are going to be doing your own CV, please have somebody else read it, because you get accustomed to reading it and reading it. You don't see your mistakes, grammar or spelling.
Right.
Another thing that I will say is try not to be repetitive. Try to bring in every section a new bit of information,
a new interest, a new side of you, a new facet to your personality.
Even if you had done the same job through 3 different employers, this is something. For example, you work in 3 different retail environments. Trying to find what is it that made that place help you gain a new experience, help you gain a new skill. Find something new from that place, so the employer doesn't have to see a copy and paste of
That's right. That's not interesting.
Not interesting at all.
Now there is a side of it. You've said spelling mistakes. Now a lot of people would send a CV that's on computer and downloaded, but a lot of people also like to see handwriting. You're between a rock and a hard place there. Which is better?
Yeah, I gotta say, handwriting is kind of a dying.
It's a dying art.
It's a dying art right now.
Right.
Yes.
Perhaps I could offer.
Yeah, by all means, yes.
Yeah.
But certainly, you send a CV, send a covering letter with your CV. Gives you the opportunity, if you've got good handwriting, to write the letter.
So your covering letter shows the fluidness of your writing.
Particularly if you're going for a job which requires you to write things down, take notes, for example, that sort of thing. So you need to show that you can write, that you can spell, it's grammatically correct, that sort of thing. The other thing about CVs, you need to target the CV to the type of job that you're going for. So, for example, if you're going for a job in an office, make sure there's lots of office type of material within your CV. If you're working in a shop or want to work in a shop, make sure that it's geared towards, say, customer service, dealing with customers, operating a till, taking money, that sort of thing. If you're going for a job on a building site, make sure you make a really positive attempt at trying to replicate the types of things that that employer is going to need and want, because ultimately when they receive your CV, they're going to compare your CV with the job description that they're advertising.
Okay.
So it's very, very important. And one of the things that Heidi and I do is we will talk to people about what they want, what their job goal is, okay, and then look at their CV and see whether that CV maps across to that particular industry.
Right. Okay.
The other thing, which I think is, as Heidi was saying earlier, is that it is a drop-in centre. You can just walk in from 10 o'clock every Thursday morning. We'll be there from 10 till 12, but not just us. Over a period of time, over a period of months, we've actually managed now to get some volunteers to help us, and these volunteers have actually been through the process themselves.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's absolutely brilliant,
that's
and
really
they are so friendly. And you walk in, and you sit down, and you talk with somebody about what you want to do, and then we, if you like, Heidi and I will offer that extra bit of support to move you on to the next level.
Okay. So first of all, you've corrected me in my spelling.
Yep.
Now what have I done wrong? The second cardinal sin.
Well, as Nick has pointed out, repetitive, boring, not tailored to what the job application is. Another very frequent mistake is that it maybe is too long. You know,
really,
a CV should not be more than 2 pages.
Understood.
An absolute must.
And you don't need to know whether or not you've got 17 cats, a dog, and a goat.
No.
You don't need that type of thing.
Unless you're applying for a
unless
job in
you're in or a veterinary service and you want to work. Okay, so let's go a stage further. I have just had a reply from an employee, and it's my first interview.
Right.
Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so do I come to you and say, I'm nervous, what do I do? What do I say? Who do I ask? You know, ask.
So important to make that first impression. It's got to be absolutely spot on. You've got to do your research. You've got to be prepared for the sort of questions. You have to present yourself accordingly, depending on the job you're going for.
Right.
You know, simple little things like eye contact, shaking hands, the way you sit, what you take with you, the research you've done beforehand, the questions you ask are very, very important. And a good interviewer will be picking up on those little things and asking what we call secondary or subsequent questions, if you like. So if you throw something in to the mix as in part of the conversation, you will be picked up on that, and they will want to know more about that subject. So we prepare people by doing mock interviews.
Do you really? And this is at the library, is it? A mock interview?
And also we work with another training provider, ITS Training in Felixstowe, and they provide us with some space where we can set cameras up and we can actually give you a mock interview, and you can go back over the recording and see the areas where you need to just tweak and improve.
That's a nice idea. So you can actually watch yourself making mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than being told you did this wrong or you didn't look at me, and that's what I thought I did.
Yeah, and people
there's
do this.
There's the information.
They play with things and they scratch themselves. And
they don't realise.
They do all that.
And as soon as you see it on screen, you go, now I know what to do. So there's a lot of tips and tricks that we can give people to improve their chances.
So you really like them to be as relaxed as if we were like now, you know, having a cup of coffee and a biscuit and just chat, and you're not then doing all this, and.
It's just because people are nervous. They're very anxious. It may be the ideal job for them, and they know that there's probably 4 or 5 other people also going for an interview. So it sort of, if you're not prepared, you can actually give a potential employer the wrong impression of you. You know, it's because you're not actually being yourself. You're trying too hard. Did you agree with that?
Yes, I 100% agree. Employers are going to allow certain degree of nervousness.
Of course.
You know, obviously that shows that this interview is important for you, but it's only when it goes a bit over, and you forget what you're going to say. You go quiet in the middle of a sentence, or you all of a sudden forget something absolutely basic for that job specifically. If it is something regarding IT or specific computer program, then it's going to be very jargon related, specific vocabulary that you're going to have to be able to have at the drop of the
Yes,
hat.
they have to know that you understand the job that you want to go in for,
Yes.
rather than saying you want to do it. You've
And
got
not be able to prove
and not be able
that-
to prove it
that you have the knowledge
in a
or the
verbal
skill.
conversation.
Yes, yeah.
Well, we've seen people, over the years I've interviewed many people, and one of the common mistakes is at the end of the interview, when they're sort of shuffling the paper and saying thank you very much for coming along and that sort of thing, is to start up another question.
Yeah.
And people don't realise you can actually go over too long. There is a natural end to the interview.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what you don't want to do is overstay your welcome in the interview situation, because if you're asking a question, you should have really asked it earlier. It's best to say, right, okay, thank you very much. Cheerio, it's been great.
So first of all, you've got all your facts, you
and then
think
leave.
you finished it, and then all of a sudden you become an
remember
annoying
something.
little tick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
You
Best
don't,
not to do that.
Yeah.
So you just said to me that you've done this on many years. I mean, how long has this been running in Felixstowe, for example?
Well, from my point of view,
Yeah.
I've been working in recruitment, in coaching people into employment since the year 2000, 1999-2000. Ready for Work was an initiative that was supported by Suffolk Coastal District Council.
Right.
And what they said was that they had a small amount of funding from central government to improve the employability and the economic viability of certain areas. And we selected Felixstowe because it has areas where we could actually make a difference and make a change. So,
Okay.
so what we've done is we've set this up. It was running from around about May last year. So now we've got well established. I think we've seen over 100 people during that time.
Mm-hmm.
We still need to see more people. We want.
So this is
doors-
actually a plea.
It
Come
is.
down to the library on the
Absolutely.
Thursday, 10 till
Yeah.
12.
If you've just lost your job through redundancy, we know some of the big employers around here have actually been making people redundant.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid to come and talk to us. We're not going to bite you. We will treat you with respect
judge
and we'll
you,
give you
yeah.
the best
Mm.
advice we can.
And
It's
do
completely free.
does the people with the funding, do they just say, oh, here's the money, and have they walked away, or do they want information or anything back from you?
From this is a pilot, so it's a
Alright.
very short pilot in terms of making a difference. Often it takes a year or 2 years to actually really start to embed a program like this into a community.
Mhm.
But we've done it for well over 6 months now. It is a pilot. We will be reporting back to the Suffolk Coastal East Coast Partnership, which is the organisation that would look at this,
Yes.
in the hope that possibly we can come back after April with a bigger and better project for Felixstowe, and to help people of Felixstowe improve their chances of getting into work.
Is this? I mean, we're on Felixstowe TV now. Is this project advertised anywhere else? Is it shown, in any other type of the media? Is it in the newspapers? Where is it?
Yeah, I think over the period of time we've had the local Star, for example, have done a double-page spread.
Right.
So they picked up the story on that. We've been on the local radio station, been on BBC radio station, Radio Suffolk.
Radio Suffolk,
And
yes.
of course we've got a website, ready4work.org. And if people need more information, they can contact us directly through the website. And also there's lots of good links on there as well. In particular, the links that people find useful are the ones that link to employers who are actually looking for people at the moment, so they can apply online.
So if people were watching this now and want to know how to get hold of you, the best way is readyforwork.org.
That's right.
Okay.
Or come and see myself and Heidi down at the
on
library on
Thursdays.
Thursday morning, and we're there today. And we'll be
You're there
till
today,
12.
are you?
Yeah.
Well,
Ten
hopefully
till
the
12.
doors will burst forward.
Thank you very much.
Before we actually finish off, and like I said, the interview thing, I thought we'd finished, but
Yeah.
have you actually had any successes so far from Felixstowe?
We've had many successes actually.
Yeah.
People have come to us. We've identified things that they could do to help and increase their possible chances of getting a job. And then the good thing is sometimes we don't see them again. So we
Mhm.
don't always know, but they do come back to the
Yeah.
library and they do tell us
Yeah.
that they've got a job. And we've got a
Okay.
number of people at the moment who are getting now ready and prepared for interviews over the next couple of weeks. And we like to think that those people are more likely to get job offers than those people who haven't prepared. So we're giving people the best chance we can to get them through into employment.
So if anybody watching this finds this to be giving them some enthusiasm towards finding a job, should they contact the TV and then they'll contact you or something like that?
Yeah, they could contact you, or they can just pop in.
Okay, so well, if they emailed email at felixstowetv.co.uk and forward the comments to pass to you, they will do, or they can basically come in on the Thursday.
Yeah, drop in, or they can email us nick@readyforwork.org. That will get there, or just come and see us.
Oh, that's the best way then. So it's nick@readyforwork.org.
That's right.
Well, I hope that today's little interview has enthused a few people, and it's not age related. We did mention young, leaving school, but we're talking about of any age, aren't we?
From 16 onwards.
Any age.
Yeah.
Any age.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope that it moves forward. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Yeah.
Heidi. Bless your heart.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that was informative, and go and see the people if you need a job or help with a job, CV, etc. Thank you very much.